What's up guys, this is Eric with Verus Engineering. This is our VBWRX and today we're going to be talking about some hood louvers. We're setting up the 50 to run some Fat House radiator brackets. I don't know, something that they designed and we're now manufacturing for them. So the first hood louvers that Verus, technically Velox at the time, produced was for the FRS BRZ, which is on the lift up there behind me. We set out to develop them and produce them because the cars early on were suffering from coil pack failures and it was thought to be heat related. So we wanted to expel some of that heat in the engine bay and get that out of there, so hood louvers made some sense. So that's when we started developing some sheet aluminum units because as far as cost goes, pretty inexpensive. I believe at the time, and we may still be, we are the first ones to do press-in studs, which when powder coated or painted, you can't really see them. So there's no fasteners on the top side. A lot of other companies do rivets or bolts through the top side. And in our opinion, that kind of looked like an aftermarket product. And keeping with what Verus has kind of stood for over the years is an OEM plus add-on. We couldn't have fasteners on the top side, so we figured out something that would work, and then we tested it, and we did some testing on the car, off car, etc., and that's what you have seen today as far as our sheet aluminum offerings. All right, so early on, Verus, Velox was, struggling for capital and struggling for market share. And as a result, we found out that the FRS BRZ hood louver sold really well. We've developed the process of designing these units and how to bend them and repeatedly cut them and press in the studs and all that type of stuff. So it's like, oh, let's do it on every vehicle that we can get our hands on and go ham ski. So that's what we did. Some of the really random vehicles, and this was all when I was living in Arizona, was a Fiat 500 Abarth. The Miata made more sense as we ended up purchasing one later on. Focus RS, Focus ST, those both were the same car, and the Focus RS market sort of made sense still. The Veloster as well. So even though that these hood louvers were designed specifically for those chassis, we've also now created a universal hood louver page, which Alex will surely link in this video. And that universal hood louver page allows you to pick units out by size, shape, and style, and then they can be basically universally installed on any hood. The universal hood louvers are the same units as the chassis specific units. However, we do change the templates to allow you to cut the hood a little bit easier on a more universal application. So with these aluminum hood louvers, you can see that they will conform to the hoods. It's pretty twisted, and it'll go back, but it'll twist pretty well, and with the amount of studs that we use on these, will allow it to conform to the hood pretty well. So as long as you don't go over like a hard seam, you're generally gonna be able to get this to look pretty nice. And even if you do have a hard seam, you can probably go like this and like put a hard bend in it, and then get it to conform to the hood pretty well. So even though this unit is for, I believe, a Focus RS or an ST, it will fit on any vehicle like a BMW or a Mercedes or a Lexus. We've seen units on Lexuses, we've seen units on Jeeps, we've seen units on Dodge Rams, I believe. So they are very universal, and overall they do function all the same. We include a wicker, which is a leading edge right here. It's not on this part right now, but a leading edge which trips up that boundary layer, allows a low pressure pocket behind it to form and ensures that this entire louver is actually functioning. Each louver is also slightly above the surface, which ensures that that boundary layer, it continues to be tripped and creates a low pressure pocket behind each one. So we have obviously moved on to other materials for hood louvers at this point, and that was derived off of, I'm gonna argue, 2 or 3 factors. One, the Supra market we felt didn't deserve a sheet aluminum unit. Sheet aluminum is a little bit more cost effective, clearly, but with a Supra we wanted to be, you know, it's a $60,000 car, roughly. We wanted a $60,000 part. And we didn't feel like we could get that OEM-esque plus style and feel if we did sheet aluminum. So we went with carbon, and this was our first carbon louver. The second reason why we've gone with carbon is as we've grown as a company and increased our skill set, we've then pushed the boundaries of what we're able to do and capable of doing. So this kind of made sense to us to do so. This is obviously considerably more expensive to produce, considerably more expensive to do a first article, et cetera, et cetera. So they are kind of reserved for a little bit higher end market, but we think that as far as looks and appeals go, the design and the work kind of speaks for itself and how we go about doing that on certain vehicles at this point. With carbon, and this being basically this actually has 3 molds to it. So this surface is actually very important because that's what contours to the hood. So we found out through a lot of testing and manufacturing styles that this actually needs 3 molds. So we actually have 1 mold for the top side, which is a top skin. We then have another mold for the bottom, which then gets bonded together. And then we actually have a 3rd mold just for this specific center rib for this specific unit. So not every carbon unit has 2 molds, but this one does. And working with the manufacturer was a lot of back and forth, to be honest, because we had this design and then they're like, we can't produce it. And then we're like, oh, okay, well, why can't you? And then they would explain, and then we would design something, and then they would go to try and produce it, and they'd be like, it doesn't work still. And then we would, revise it again. I think it was 3 times total. And then we also found out that as we develop them or produce them, if you don't bond the top and bottom skins in a specific order, in a specific way, the units don't come with the correct curvature. So we now have a 3D printed template that we check each unit on to ensure that it would fit on the Supra hood. And we also have specific manufacturing instructions to ensure that when they're bonding the units together, that it actually conforms and sticks to basically what CAD is or what the OEM hood is. So a lot of learning happened on this one, and now we're moving on to other applications, of course, because once you learn things, you can then, I guess, kind of scale that knowledge to other platforms. When you get a Verus product, you expect it to fit the car a very specific way. You don't want to trim it, you want to trim the OEM hood, but you don't want to trim the carbon part. And because we hold ourselves to a very high standard, sometimes that delays our production process and our manufacturing process, because if you got a hood louver and it had a 3/8 inch gap right here, you wouldn't be too happy. Ours are all double side taped on, so they basically need to fit on the hood like an OEM piece would, and that makes it difficult on us to produce a part and repeatedly produce that part over time. So things like the fender vents, again, we're learning again. So learning on the fender vents, and then hopefully that then translates to other fender vents in the future. But that's why the Supra fender vents still haven't been released. They are coming, I promise you that. And hopefully once we figure out the manufacturing process entirely, that will ramp up and we'll be able to see them more in the wild. We're gonna talk about hood louver placement now. So any car that we've done CFD on, we take, I would argue, like a 3-prong approach. So overall, we take the pressure coefficient or the pressure plot of the hood, we take that into account. So generally speaking, and this is for like a universal louver, you're gonna see on the front third or front half of the hood is a lower pressure. So that's gonna be a better place to vent the engine bay. You wanna vent high pressure into low pressure. So that's gonna encourage evacuation. The second thing that we think about is the underhood structure. So most automotive hoods have a structure that the top skin, so this is the top skin, what you actually see, and then it has this structure underneath which gives it some rigidity. So we try our best, and in some cases we only remove the skin. In more modern cars, the structure seems to be getting more and more complex, so we're having to remove some of that structure, which is not ideal, but we try to minimize the structure that we remove. And that's just to keep this OEM hood structurally integral and ensure that it doesn't just buckle or deform over time. And if you do get in an accident, it still deforms the way that the factory wanted it to. And then the third thing that we think about is location on the hood in relation to the engine bay. So ideally we want the hood louver to be behind the charge cooler, or well, not the charge cooler, the cooling stack. So basically charge cooler to radiator. It doesn't always happen, and honestly the Supra is one of those cases. However, if you actually look, and we do, I don't know if we do actually have CFD of this, I think we do, but if you look at various plots, we actually have one from Andrew Brownfield, there is still a ton of heat being evacuated. So just because this is forward of the cooling stack, which is actually probably right about here, this is where the cooling stack ends, that doesn't mean that airflow doesn't come up and go this way. It actually does, because high pressure is still gonna go to low pressure, and even though it's behind, it's still coming up, filling this area of the hood with pressure, and as such, it's gonna evacuate it out. So ideal, no. Does it still function? Yes, and we were able to not remove a ton of structural metal on the bottom side of the hood, which was kind of, again, there's a three-prong approach when we place a hood louver. So if you're installing a hood louver, there's a few things that I would recommend if you're not following one of our directions. The first thing is probably gonna be, you're gonna be wanting to be on the first third to maybe half of the hood. The further back you go, the higher the pressure on the hood is. So we hear people wanting to install hood louvers on the back of the hood, and that's because I think people think that like as air's going this way, you do want to evacuate the most rear part of the hood. And while I can see that intuition being that case, it's not recommended. There's a few reasons why. The main one is because there is a high pressure zone towards the windshield, and that's because every automotive car has a windshield, and as you have that flip up of the windshield, you start to generate some high pressure there. So when you have high pressure there, it may not be as high as in the engine bay, I don't know. Generally speaking, I would say that going on the backside of the hood is not recommended because it is higher pressure than the front. I hope that makes sense. If not, let me know. The other thing that I would really recommend is trying to reduce that hood structure that you do cut out, because it is something that at least we think of. At the end of the day, the hood is yours, the car is yours, so you do whatever you want. But I would try and do those two things. And then third, so the last thing that I would think of is probably trying to put it behind the radiator, because you're gonna encourage airflow from that radiator to go out the hood louver and vent all the heat that you're basically throwing into the engine bay. So I would say that those are the three things, basically the three things that we keep in mind, you keep in mind as you do an universal hood louver install as well. All right guys, that concludes our hood louver video. We have some other cool hood louvers in the works. Wink, wink. Man, they look cool. Too bad you guys can't see them. I'm Eric Hazen, and I'm out from Verus Engineering. I gotta go program some FK8 FL5 Civic Type R jack pucks because you guys have been asking for them, and we're gonna produce them. Until next time.